Okay, picture this. It's a gorgeous, warm week in August. You stroll into the grocery store and bam, there's this massive bin just piled high with cantaloupes. You pick one up, kind of feel its weight, grab the prettiest one of the bunch, and head home. But then you cut it open, right? Huge disappointment, right? Pale flesh, this massively thick white rind, and a bite that is just watery and flavorless. Honestly, it leaves this faint pumpkin kind of aftertaste in your mouth. Let me tell you, to a farmer, that specific taste is the undeniable telltale signature of a melon that was picked way, way too early.
It's just incredibly frustrating. You might think finding a really good melon is just a roll of the dice, some kind of produce lottery. But let me tell you a little secret straight from the farm. There is absolutely no luck involved in picking a cantaloupe. Literally none. It's entirely about reading the work that the sun, the soil, and the vine actually put into that specific piece of fruit.
And hey, this isn't just about getting a bad snack. It's actually about your wallet. Every single time you bring home one of those early-picked, flavorless melons, you are basically leaving a $5 bill sitting right there on the kitchen counter, only to watch half of it end up rotting in the compost pile. You're paying full price for a completely unfinished product.
Okay, let's dive into this explainer because we are going to ensure you never ever buy a bad melon again. Here's our quick agenda for today. 1. The lost farmer's knowledge. 2. Western versus Eastern cantaloupes. 3. Reading the melon's rind. 4. The full slip test. 5. Weight, thump, and smell. And finally, 6. The honest cantaloupe math.
Starting with Section 1, the lost farmer's knowledge. So there was actually a time when folks knew exactly how to walk right up to a farm stand and pick the absolute sweetest melon in the bin every single time. We relied on a really small, totally reliable set of tests that didn't cost a single extra dime and completely eliminated the guesswork. But, the modern supermarket, they don't really benefit from a careful shopper. Honestly, they'd much rather sell you a totally underripe melon for that same $5. Well, today, we are taking that generational knowledge right back.
Moving on to Section 2, Western versus Eastern cantaloupes.
Now, what's really interesting to see here is the incredible visual contrast between the two main types of cantaloupes you're going to encounter. Over on the left, we've got the Western cantaloupe. These are shipped year-round from places like California or Arizona. They're smooth, perfectly round, uniform, and really pale. Supermarkets absolutely love them because they have an amazing shelf life, but their flavor is pretty mild. Now, contrast that with the Eastern cantaloupe or the muskmelon on the right. Frankly, they're kind of ugly. They're oblong, sometimes they have these brown spots, and they feature this deep, grooved netting. But man, they contain that deep, incredibly sweet, musky flavor you probably remember from your childhood. If you ever have the choice at a farm stand, grab the Eastern for sure. But don't worry, our tests today apply perfectly to both varieties.
All right, Section 3, reading the melon's rind.
So, your very first test is purely visual. You've got to look right past that rough pattern to the smooth skin underneath. A true vine-ripened melon is going to have a creamy beige or like a sandy gold rind. That color tells you it stayed on the vine long enough for the green chlorophyll to break down entirely. If it's green or grayish-green, picked far, far too early. Next up, check out the netting. On a fully ripe melon, that raised pattern is thick and prominent, almost like fine cord laid across the rind. That right there is the rind's signature that it had weeks to properly develop. But if the netting is thin, faint, and almost completely smooth to the touch, well, the harvester took a knife to it before it was done growing. It is practically guaranteed to be flavorless inside.
Section 4, the full slip test.
Let's move to the stem end and see how this all builds. To truly evaluate a melon, you've absolutely got to look at the top. What you're searching for is what farmers call full slip. This is just a beautiful agrarian concept. When a cantaloupe reaches true ripeness, the plant itself actually forms a separation layer between the fruit and the stem. It literally stops feeding the melon. At that exact magic moment, the melon detaches from the vine completely naturally with just the gentlest tug. Sometimes it even falls away all on its own. And it leaves behind this clean, concave indent.
And this brilliantly illustrates the true life cycle of the harvest. And honestly, it busts the biggest grocery store myth out there. Cantaloupes do not get sweeter after they are picked, period. No way around it. Sure, they might get a little softer sitting on your kitchen counter, and they might even get juicier in texture, but that sugar content, it is locked in the second it leaves the vine. So that means if a melon was forced off the vine before it reached full slip, it will never ever reach its full potential.
So here's what you do. Literally stick your finger right into that stem indent at the grocery store. If it feels slightly cupped, kind of like a smooth, clean, small bowl, you've got a winner. But if you see a piece of the stem still attached, or maybe a flat cut or a rough, jagged, torn edge, put it back immediately. That melon did not separate on its own. The vine was actively still feeding it, and it was picked by force. Honestly, checking for this clean, full slip alone is going to eliminate the vast majority of those disappointing grocery store melons you run into.
Next up, Section 5, weight, thump, and smell.
Okay, so you've used your eyes, now it's time to get your hands and your nose involved. First step, pick up a melon and just heft it. Then go find another melon of the exact same size and heft that one too. You are comparing their density here. Second step, hold the melon up and give it a nice, gentle tap with your knuckles. And finally, step 3, bring the melon right up to your face and take a deep smell right at the blossom end. That's the soft round end directly opposite that stem indent we just talked about.
Now, what exactly are we sensing for? Well, a ripe cantaloupe is roughly 90% water by weight. It is incredibly dense with water and sugar, so it should feel surprisingly heavy for its size. If you pick it up and it feels kind of light and airy, it either totally dried out sitting on the shelf or it was picked way too early. Now, when you thump it, you really want to hear a low, dull, deep thud. Think of it like tapping your fist against your chest. If it sounds high, hollow, and bright, like you're tapping an empty cardboard box, it's just unripe. But listen, the ultimate decider is the smell. A perfectly ripe melon will hit you with an unmistakable, deep, sweet, musky perfume right through the rind. If you smell nothing but a faint vegetable scent, it's just not ready. And if it smells kind of sour or fermented, it's already spoiling. Remember, the nose always knows.
So, the crucial point is this simple 5-step checklist. Think of this as your farmer's defense against bad produce. Number 1, look for that sandy gold color beneath the netting. Number 2, feel for a thick, raised, 3-dimensional netting. Number 3, check the top for a clean, concave stem indent that proves a natural full slip. Number 4, feel for a heavy weight and listen for that deep thud. And finally, number 5, smell the blossom end for that unmistakable sweet musk. Do these 5 things and you will literally never bring home a bad cantaloupe again.
Bringing us to our final section, Section 6, the honest cantaloupe math.
Let's think about an average family's summer. Buying just, say, 2 cantaloupes a week through July, August, and September, that adds up to about $120. Because most folks are just completely guessing at the grocery store, half of those melons end up being watery, flavorless duds. You might try to force down $40 worth of it, but $60 gets chucked straight into the compost bin. And maybe another $20 gets fed to the chickens or just tossed right in the trash. That is just a staggering amount of waste for something that is completely 100% avoidable.
But check this out. When you apply these 5 simple farmer tests we just learned, that exact same $120 budget buys you 24 perfect, sweet, incredibly juicy melons. You are effectively doubling the amount of quality fruit your family actually gets to eat simply because you stop throwing half your money away on those forced early harvests. It literally takes less than a minute at the grocery store bin, and I promise you it changes your summer fruit game entirely. Ultimately, evaluating produce is all about observation. As the source material so beautifully puts it, the vine, the sun, and the bees wrote a love letter on every good cantaloupe. You just have to know how to read it. They literally left their fingerprints right there on the rind, on the stem, and in the scent. You just have to stop guessing and start reading. And you know, if the supermarkets have been perfectly happy letting us just guess and waste our money on cantaloupes all these years, it kind of makes you wonder, what other signs are they hoping we don't know how to read in the rest of the produce aisle? Keep observing, keep testing, and we'll see you in the next explainer.